Okay, let's jump right in. Today, we're taking a visual journey into a truly unique culinary battleground. We're going to explore the rules, the environment, and the ultimate bounty of what we're calling the Great Iron Forge. But hey, before you grab a plate, you really need to understand the stakes. This isn't your casual Sunday dinner outing, no way. There are incredibly strict rules of engagement here, and stepping into this arena requires a bit of strategy, a massive appetite, and a healthy respect for the absolute law of the land.
Okay, let's dive into this. Right at the entrance, before you even catch a whiff of the grill, you're greeted by a stern, beautifully illustrated sign featuring a formidable-looking warrior commanding your attention. This is the Emperor's Decree, and it establishes the absolute law of this dining land. It sets an immediate tone, you know? You are a guest in his domain, and you absolutely must abide by his terms before you even think about approaching the food.
The text on the sign reads, and I quote, "Because ours is an all-you-can-eat buffet, we cannot allow leftovers to be taken out. Thank you and enjoy." Now, sure, that might sound like a standard restaurant policy, but think about the comedic stakes here. You're embarking on a quest where your eyes simply cannot be bigger than your stomach. You literally must eat everything you gather. It creates this instant tension for the culinary quest ahead. There's no retreat, and there are definitely no to-go boxes.
Section 1. The Bamboo Dining Chambers, Preparing for the Feast.
So this is the physical space where patrons sit down to strategize. Stepping into the dining area, you immediately feel a shift in the atmosphere, kind of like a quiet, hushed anticipation. The architecture brilliantly separates the diners into these cozy, contained enclaves. Honestly, it almost feels like holding pens for hungry warriors getting ready for battle. The warm, dim lighting casts these soft shadows over the tables, creating an ambiance that's both relaxing and just a little bit dramatic. It gives you a secluded space to plan your exact approach to the upcoming buffet line.
Let's break down the specific design choices setting the stage here. You've got bamboo fencing dividers acting as vertical visual barriers between the booths. Then your eyes are drawn to that heavy faux stone pattern back wall on the right. It adds this rugged, almost fortress-like texture to the room. Contrast that with the modern drop lighting, the neatly framed black and white photos dotting the warm brown walls, and the sleek black tables paired with stark black napkins. The whole shebang creates a highly unique, slightly theatrical atmosphere before the main event. It's rustic, yet incredibly orderly.
Section 2. The Great Iron Forge, the heart of the operation. Leaving the quiet comfort of the dining chambers, well, it's time to step into the heat. The focal point of the entire restaurant is the sheer, magnificent scale of that massive flat-top circular grill dominating the space. Now, what's really interesting about this setup is what's waiting in the background. Beneath the protective glass sneeze guards, you can see the buffet stations, basically the armory where you gather your raw ingredients. And then, front and center, you have this colossal iron disc, heated up from below and ready to transform those raw ingredients into an epic feast. The cooking ritual observed right here at the forge follows a very strict procedure. Step 1. Your customized plate of raw food is placed directly onto that heated disc. You can just imagine the ribbons of raw meat and noodles beginning to sizzle. Step 2. The chef, acting as the master of the forge, expertly manipulates the food. Notice the specialized long spatulas he's holding. Those are absolutely necessary to manage the intense heat and the massive scale of that cooking surface. Finally, Step 3. Once the meal reaches perfection, it's pushed outward into those beautifully patterned bowls waiting on the cooler outer rim, ready to be claimed by the victorious diner.
Section 3. Conquering the Final Feast, the spoils of the quest.
After the fiery creation at the forge, we finally arrive at the culmination of your strategy and the chef's hard work. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we've been working towards. Just look at the sheer, overwhelming volume of this feast from these two distinct angles. We've got a massive steaming mountain of food here. You can clearly see the thick, savory noodles weaving throughout the dish, the folds of golden cooked eggs, and those generous, hearty pieces of meat and fresh greens, all perfectly seared and waiting to be devoured. It is literally an absolute visual triumph on a plate.
But this brings us to the ultimate question to wrap things up. The Emperor's terms at the very beginning of our journey were undeniably clear. Looking at this massive, towering mountain of noodles, eggs, and meat, could you finish it all? Remember, there are absolutely no leftovers allowed to be taken out of this realm. It's a true test for any hungry warrior. Thanks for joining me to break down this magnificent feast. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.